The following Stanley Cup highlight film is a Sports Channel special presentation.
Four ties, 7 minutes gone in overtime. Inning. Pass right on the stick of Tonelli. Coming in with Nystrom. Tonelli to Nystrom. He scores! Bob Nystrom scores the goal. The Islanders win the Stanley Cup. Champions, my friend.
The New York Islanders followed that hair-raising overtime triumph over Philadelphia with an easier path to their second straight Stanley Cup. They lost only twice in getting to the final against Minnesota and just once against the North Stars in a 5-game climax. Except for a close call in the first round against Pittsburgh, the Islanders' third consecutive cup was routine. With a 4-game sweep of Vancouver in the final, Mike Bossy tied a record with 7 goals against the Canucks. Thus, the Islanders became the only U.S.-based team to win 3 Stanley Cups in succession. Their bid to list themselves as the second NHL team ever to win 4 straight looked shaky as the 1983 playoffs began. The Edmonton Oilers and Wayne Gretzky served immediate notice that they were worthy challengers. In a Smythe Division semifinal against Winnipeg, the Oilers began a sweep with a 6-3 victory, and Gretzky started even faster with a 4-goal performance. All 4 goals were on breakaways of one sort or another. And right away, you had a feeling that the record book was in for a beating, or about to be confirmed as Gretzky's biography. Injured Lanny McDonald watched from the bench as his Calgary Flames subdued Vancouver in 4th game overtime. The winning goal came from Lanny's right-wing replacement, rookie Greg Meredith, at 1:06 of the extra period. The Flames were on their way to the Smythe Division final against the Oilers, the Battle of Alberta. Meanwhile, in the Norris Division, the Chicago Blackhawks upheld their status as first-place finishers by eliminating St. Louis in 4 games. The Hawks look forward to meeting their arch-rivals from Minnesota, who were coached in the playoffs by general manager Lou Nanne. He had a chance to celebrate Dino Ciccarelli's series-winning overtime goal in Game 4 at Toronto's Maple Leaf Gardens. The year's top goaltender, Pete Peters of Boston, did his thing in the first round of the Adams Division playoffs, especially in the 4th and final game when he made 38 saves and allowed this Luc Dufour goal to stand up for a 2-1 victory. And then there were the first-round surprises. Buffalo, after registering 2 shutout wins in Montreal, toppled the Habs in Game 3 on a third-period goal by Tony McKegney. Less than 5 minutes to play, and is he happy? Not so Rick Walmsley. If that wasn't the biggest upset, this was. A 3-game sweep of Philadelphia by the New York Rangers, who clinched the Patrick Division semifinal with a 9-3 romp on goals like that by Rob McClanahan. And what were the Islanders doing while 7 other first-round winners were preparing their challenges? They were riding Mike Bossy's hat trick to a 4-game victory over the upstart Washington Capitals. For the 3rd straight year, the Islanders met up with the New York Rangers. This Bob Bourne goal on Long Island could have played Broadway. There was a lot of unchoreographed, old-fashioned work, too, as the Islanders won the Patrick Division crown in 6 games, but the Bourne goal was the prettiest playoff picture of all. In Boston, high drama for a trin.
Here's Park, the draw, the shot. It trickles in. It's knocked away. Park with it. Scores! Brad Park wins the game. Brad Park, a rebound, and the Bruins win 3-2. The faceoff won by Peterson, back for Park. The first one blocked, and Park drove it home, and the Bruins beat the Islanders on Tuesday night with almost 2 minutes played. Brad Park's second goal of the night, and Boston wins.
In the Norris Division final, Minnesota's suicidal habit of allowing shorthanded goals strikes again. Chicago's Rick Patterson clinched the Hawks' 5-game victory before another stadium sellout. The Battle of Alberta opened with 4 Mark Messier goals in Edmonton's 6-3 win over Calgary. But Wayne Gretzky remained the hottest of the Oilers with his second 4-goal game a few nights later. games and kept right on going in their Campbell Conference final against Chicago. How's this for pinpoint passing to set up Glenn Anderson? The series opener featured 2 shorthanded goals by Yari Curry, both set up by Gretzky. Now he sees him. And now he doesn't necessarily have to see him to put the puck on his stick. The Oilers won 8-4. And in Game 2, Anderson became the 3rd Oiler to celebrate a 4-goal game, and Messier scored a hat trick. To this point, there was no stopping Edmonton.
Ain't no stopping us now. We're on the move. Ain't no stopping us now. We got the groove. Ain't no stopping us now. I know, ain't no stopping us now. We've got the groove, we got it. There's been so many things that's held us down, but now it looks like things are finally coming around. I know we've got a long, long way to go, and where we'll end up, I don't know. But we won't let nothing hold us back. We're putting our show together. We're polishing up our act.
An 8-2 loss and 16 goals against in 2 games so angered Chicago coach Orville Tessier that he authored most of the post-game headlines with the charge that his players needed heart transplants. Back at sold-out Chicago Stadium for Game 3, the fans were hoping faith would be enough. Tessier apologized to his players, and they did improve, drawing even at 2 midway through the 3rd period on Denny Savard's power play goal. But with less than 7 minutes to play, Gretzky and line mates went to work again. It's Gretzky to Curry to Anderson to victory by a 3-2 score. The Oilers completed a 4-game sweep almost before the Hawks broke a sweat. Gretzky broke away for a 1-0 lead at 2:46 of the first period. And just a minute later, the puck rode a string again for the first of 2 goals by Yaroslav Pozar, in uniform for the first time to replace injured Mark Messier. Edmonton won 6-3 and captured the Clarence Campbell Bowl. The Prince of Wales Conference Final opened in Boston, where the Bruin fans think Pete Peters is worth $1 million. But the value of his dollar was quickly devalued by an Islander onslaught. Bob Bourne left the puck for Brent Sutter, and the Islanders took a first-period lead. They followed with these second-period goals. Defenseman Thomas Jonsson. Bossy on a power play. And number 14, Bob, call him airborne on this one, gives a perfect feed to Dwayne Sutter. The Islanders won 5-2, but the Bruins bounced back in Game 2 on the strength of 2 shorthanded goals. Rick Middleton played pickpocket and set up Brad Palmer for a breakaway and a 2-0 lead. Denny Potvin had scored, and the Islanders were on a power play when Barry Peterson continued his hot scoring at an opportune time. The Bruins led 3-1. They won 4-1 as Peterson added his 13th playoff goal in the 3rd period. The teams moved to Long Island for Game 3. And even coach Al Arbor seems to believe in signs, the baseball kind. Al must have been signaling for a power play goal by Bossy. Watch him with the puck and without it as he jockeys for position, waiting, anticipating the chance to regain possession and then to score. Put that one in a textbook. The Islanders won 7-3. And Bossy fired a hat trick in Game 4. It was 8-3 Islanders this time. The Bruins were determined to stay alive on home ice, and a typical roll-up-the-sleeves Boston effort ensued. The Bruins did fall behind, but then scored 5 straight goals, beginning with a Craig McTavish marker. And they did force a 6th game. Cue Bossy once more. An open net allowed him to put New York ahead 2-0. Here's Bossy down the right side for a 4-2 lead. Now it's 5-3. And Mike has his choice of hats from many countries. But who's getting dressed? It's still the second period, and Bossy scores number 4. The Islanders win 8-4, and Captain Denny Potvin holds aloft the Prince of Wales trophy. But it's another trophy that Potvin really wants, so let the Stanley Cup final begin. A dream matchup of the 3-time champs and the highest scoring team in NHL history. The series opens in Edmonton with Mike Bossy absent because of tonsillitis. Fuel for the Oiler fans' confidence as Glenn Sather surveys the pregame scene of Edmonton's first ever Stanley Cup final. The Oilers waste no time applying the pressure. Glenn Anderson comes close to scoring in the very first minute. Again, an opportunity for number 9 Anderson. It takes an Islander penalty to Ken Morrow to bring play to a halt. Mark Messier returns to the Edmonton lineup with a bang on Thomas Jonsson. 5.5 minutes into the game on the end of a power play, the Islanders control the puck with the line of Bourne and 2 Sutters, the line that has been New York's best playoff combination. Dwayne Sutter is in perfect position to poke home a rebound for a 1-0 Islander lead. The Oilers buzz around Billy Smith at the other end. Already, he's establishing himself as a big factor in this Cup final. The term money goalie was coined with Smith in mind. But he's also at the center of controversy. A slash on Glenn Anderson draws a penalty, and later the ire of Sather. Smith insisted it was a love tap. The Oilers said it warranted Smith's suspension. Now the better side of hockey. Bourne and Gretzky stride for stride, and the league's top scorer proves there's more to his game than just goals and assists. Edmonton's Andy Moog shows fine goaltending of his own with 2 big saves on John Tonelli to keep the score at 1-0 and keep the tension building. Moog had to be sharp as Bob Nystrom's forechecking created another New York chance in the second period. And a scramble at one end deserves the same at the other. This time, Nystrom's aggressiveness draws a penalty, but the Oilers still can't score. Watch Paul Coffey as he makes one of his patented end-to-end rushes. He thinks he's tied the score, but no, Smith has it. And this may have been Smith's biggest save of the series. Gretzky narrowly misses. Again in the third period, Wayne is denied. And this time, Gretzky will pass to Anderson. The net is yawning, but the puck goes wide. The Oilers continue to flail away behind an attacking Kevin Lowe, but Smith is impenetrable. Right to the last half minute of play, the Oilers threaten to even the score. They outshoot the Islanders on the night 35-24, but nothing goes in. It's the first time in 198 games the Oilers have been blanked, and Ken Morrow finds the empty net at the other end. Morrow's third playoff goal on his way to equaling his season total of 5. The Islanders win 2-0. Billy Smith is their hero and a villain in Edmonton. Finally, the Oilers beat Smith in Game 2. Edmonton's first goal of the series comes from Dave Semenko, the first playoff goal of his career. 8:39 of the first period. He had to take a hit from Dave Langevin to make the shot. Semenko, known for other methods, finds the best way to bother Smith. And now a moment that haunts Gretzky and the Oilers. Wayne hits the post where a 2-0 lead might have made a big difference in the game and the series. The Islanders go to work later in the period and expose the shakiness of Moog. Janssen ties the score at 14-21. Bob Nystrom's shot fools the Edmonton goaltender on the short side 3.5 minutes later. And with less than a minute to go, Mike Bossy's 16th playoff goal puts New York up by 2. A sight to behold is Edmonton's Coffey going the length of the ice, just like Game 1. But this time he tries to cut across the crease. Whatever the move, Smith counters it. 5:07, second period. Smith doesn't miss many, but Yari Curry's shot catches the corner, and the Oilers cut the lead in half. Then giveaways bury them. Messier loses to Dwayne Sutter, and instantly Bourne's got it in the net. 8:03, second period. Less than a minute later, Charlie Huddy tries to clear, but sends the puck right to Ken Morrow, back to Moog's doorstep and in for Brent Sutter's 8th goal. The helplessness of Moog's situation is seen from the goal judge's view. 1 minute, the puck appears to be out of danger. The next minute, it's in the net. Meanwhile, let's not forget Billy Smith. He provides another reminder of his excellence with a stop on Don Jackson. The Oilers enter the third period needing at least 3 goals. There's plenty of time left, more than 15 minutes, as Anderson tries to spark a comeback with his 10th of the playoffs. On that play, Gretzky sets a record with his 36th playoff point, but he is without a goal in the final, and as Smith turns back the Oilers one more time, Wayne's frustration becomes evident. Oiler owner Peter Pocklington's too. With less than 6 minutes to play, the Islanders end any doubt about the outcome of Game 2 with Brent Sutter's 2nd goal of the night. The Islanders win 6-3 for a 2-game lead, but 2 major penalties are left to sour the issue. Billy Smith's stick lands this time on Gretzky. Dave Lumley retaliates for the Oilers. The Islanders return home, thinking sweep. Sather looks up and thinks how nice it would be to win just 1 Stanley Cup. Or how about just 1 goal on Billy Smith to get things off to a good start? Smith remains tough. And Gretzky remains without a goal, though the chances keep coming. When the scoring opportunities aren't close in, Gretzky unleashes shots like this one. But Smith saves all kinds. Another look at the classic confrontation, shooter and stopper. On this Oiler chance, the puck actually lies in the crease before it is knocked away by Bossy. And after Morrow blocks a shot, Bossy is on his way to the other end with Anders Kaller. Kaller opens the scoring against a defenseless Andy Moog. The Islanders lead in the closing minute of the first period. The second period scoring is limited to a tying marker by Curry of the Oilers. Gretzky won the draw and added to his point total. 1-1 going to the third period, but that final 20 minutes belongs to the Islanders. Bob Bourne, New York's scoring leader in the playoffs, works the corner of the rink and the corner of the net for a tap-in goal. Label this the beginning of the end for Edmonton. Ken Morrow proves again that his goals are important, if not all that frequent. At the 6:21 mark of the third period, the Islanders lead 3-1. And their fans seem convinced they're the best. For good measure, they keep pounding away at Moog. And the Sutter brothers take turns padding their playoff total. Dwayne scores from Bourne and younger brother Brent. Then Brent gets credit when Denny Potvin's shot finds his skate. And then the net. Another look at Brent Sutter's power play goal. 5-1 Islanders, and they're one win away from Stanley Cup number 4. The Islanders are riding an 8-game unbeaten streak in Stanley Cup final play, and they aim to continue that for their second sweep in as many years. A good start midway through the first period. Moog fails to handle the puck behind his net. Clark Gillies finds Brian Trottier with a neat pass, and the Islanders build the foundation for celebration. Less than a minute later, Paul Coffey is stripped of the puck, and Bob Nystrom gives chase. John Tonelli heads for the net, and the Islanders make it look easy. It's 2-0 New York at the 11:45 mark of the opening period. Less than a minute after that, Bossy is sent in alone by Brian Trottier. In the space of 1 minute and 37 seconds, the Islanders turn a scoreless game into 3-0. To the Oilers' credit, however, their effort does not wane. Early in the second period, Gretzky feeds Curry from his favorite spot behind the net. Point number 38 for Gretzky. No goals in the final, but by now he'd settle for a few more assists. Always on the attack, Wayne is stopped this time. And the Islanders almost turn it into a goal at the other end. Now it's the final minute of the second period. Mark Messier fans the Oiler hopes with his 15th playoff goal. The Edmonton bench comes alive. But Islander fans complain about the disruption of Anders Keller just before the Messier shot. It's the third period with the Oilers on a power play. Smith again becomes the center of attention and controversy. In front of the net, Anderson's stick rides high and Smith slumps to the ice. A major penalty is called on Anderson, who insists there's nothing wrong with Smith. Smith confirms that later with a winning and more than slightly devilish smile on his face. Another look at the Anderson penalty or the Smith act. An Oscar for this, maybe, but a Conn Smythe trophy for all the saves Billy Smith has made. The scoreboard doesn't change during Anderson's 5-minute sentence, so with just over a minute left, the Oilers are still frantically trying to get even.
Boring is out. 2-on-1. Boring and Nystrom. Great play by Kevin Lowe. Minute and a half left in the third period. Messier. Shot. Knocked down the goaltender is coming out. Moog racing to the bench. Oilers doing everything. They have an extra man on now. Nystrom can't clear it. Oilers keep it in back of the net. Vogelin near the line waits. Gretzky can't make a play. Gretzky steals it. It comes in front. Here they come. Empty net. Score!
The New York Islanders win 4 straight games for their 4th straight Stanley Cup. A feat accomplished just twice before by legendary Montreal teams. The New York team now demands comparison.